Everyone always talks about the great lock-in, the New Year glow-up, time to get fit, time to get rich, time to get the best grades. But every time you get motivated for a week, then you just give up. And the cycle just starts again and again every single month or every single year, every single time you try to get a new glow-up. And you never really achieve the life of your dreams. So if that feels like you, it's about time we change that and we get our lives together. Hello my loves, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mirella and I love sharing all things self-care, class, and self-growth. Before we start, let me show you my credentials. Over the last few years, I completely transformed my life for the better and I read countless books on the matter. And today I'm going to teach you once and for good how you can actually truly understand what you want and finally achieve it. I'm going to give you some practical and actionable steps that you can take immediately, so then this can really be the last video you will ever need to watch on how to lock in and change your life. In order to cover all the possible aspects of achieving your dream life, I decided to divide this video into 3 parts. The first one will be the planning stage, then we have some mental work, and finally your habits and routines. As always, if you love this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to connect with me, in the description you will find all of my information and my other socials where I post daily tips and so much more about my life. So without further ado, take a pen and paper, get ready to write it down, and let's get straight into the video. So the first step is going to be your planning stage. And the first thing I really need you to understand is that you probably don't even know what you want. And now you might look at me and think, of course I know what I want. I want to be rich, I want to get fit, I want a good family, maybe a good job or the best grades. Of course you would want that, everyone wants that. But I'm talking about your true aspirations and what your soul actually wants. As you look around, you watch people on social media, you watch people doing completely different paths than you, and you think because they have nice things that you should have them too. And you feel FOMO, you feel like you should live their lives as well. But my question to you is, have you ever sat down and actually thought of what really success means to you, or what your true aspirations really are, or what really makes you feel good? Because my idea of success might be completely different from your idea of success. My idea could be to be a good mother, be super close to my family, live in a good home, have a loving husband. Or my idea of success could be to be an entrepreneur, to never have kids, to don't even get married, to be a girl boss and live in New York City in my penthouse. Or my idea of success could be to live a normal life, to live in my small city, to enjoy my time with my friends. Or it could be to leave all of my past behind and travel the world. My idea of success is not more important than your idea of success, and there is not a universal value that you should follow. In this day and age, we're constantly exposed to so much content and so many things that tell us what we should be, that we don't even think of what our true aspirations are and what we truly desire. Sometimes our desire are not our desire, but are others people's desire. So the first homework that I really want you to do is to sit down, take a piece of paper, and really write down all of the things that makes you feel aligned with yourself. It might be drawing, it might be being super good at your work, it might be studying, it might be reading, it might be being creative, spending time in nature. So I want you to sit down and write down all of the things that really make you feel good and really make you feel aligned. And then try to find the real aspirations for yourself. And this will not be completely easy on the first try. It is very common that the first time you try it, you will not have a clear vision of what you actually want for yourself, but you need to start somewhere. So take a piece of paper and just write it down. I want you to truly make a description of that person, of the ideal version of yourself. And I want you to imagine the best possible scenario. I want you to imagine that all your dreams come true and you become that person. I want you to tell me, what does she do in her free time? What are her hobbies? What are her habits? Who are the people around her? Do they support her? Do they not? What does she look like? Is she fit? Or is she not? How does her hair look like? I want you to write all the possible aspects that you can think of and write a description of that perfect version of yourself, as if everything you dream comes true. Now, once you have this description, even though, again, maybe it will not be perfect on the first try, maybe you have to do it again in a few months, but that's the good part of it. You can always evolve it and you can always get better at it. But again, you need to start somewhere. Now that you actually have this description, I want you to make an action plan. Let me make an example. Let's say that the best version of yourself has a PhD. She is super smart, she studies a lot, and she has her PhD, and she's a career girly. Now, maybe you're in your first year of university, or maybe you're already working, or maybe you're in high school. What I want you to do is write down all the things and all the steps that you can take today to become that version. It is obvious that it's impossible that you will actually have a PhD within the year. What you can write down is study for all of my exams, do all of my exams, and get the best grades. This summer, you can focus on landing the best internship ever so that you already have some experiences and you can actually win the scholarship for the PhD one day. And this way, you will actually feel like your goals are feasible, and that version of yourself that feels so far away is actually closer than you think, and you can become that person. Now, the next step is to make a general to-do list based on that action plan. This way, you will have a yearly to-do list with all of the steps that you have to follow to become that version of yourself. Now, this is the most important part of this video, and it's literally the reason why most of the people fail. 90% of the people set down goals that they never really reach. So what I want you to do is, based on a general to-do list that you already made on the action plan, I want you to make monthly and weekly to-do lists based on that description. Let's make a practical example. So you want to be fit. This year you want to achieve your dream physique. So your goal is to be fit. The action plan is to eat healthy and work out and maybe walk more. The yearly to-do list is to work out consistently, to try new foods, and to increase your average yearly steps. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take your little notebook and write down your monthly to-do list for January, for example. What you can write down is work out 10 times, walk an average of 7,000 steps. You give yourself goals you will actually follow, and you need to do this every single month. What I love to do is every single month, I reflect on the month before. So I take my little journal and I reflect on the things that happened, what I wanted to do better, what this month taught me. I also write my new month to-do list. Some months I achieve everything, some other months I don't. But the important thing is that I show up every single time. Now, every single week, based on that month description, you can just take your piece of paper on Sunday and you write down all of the things you want to do for the new week. So again, going back to the eating healthy goal, write down work out 3 times, and then you can write down go for a walk every single evening. So this way, you will see that at the end of the year, you will actually have achieved your yearly goal without even realizing it, because you literally created a path made for you to achieve that goal, to become that person. And I really want to stress the importance of this part, because what usually happens is that everyone just writes their yearly to-do list and the new year goals. But seeing this long list of achievements, what happens is that you just get overwhelmed. So this way, you will actually create a step-by-step method to achieve what you want without even realizing it, doing tiny little things every single week that make you closer to that goal. And if you don't do that, the risk is that you will look back, waste another year, and just do nothing again. Now, to end this planning stage, should you make a vision board or not? My short answer is yes. It is not necessary if you don't want to do it, but I find it incredibly helpful for 2 reasons. The first reason is that if you actually make it right, it can be incredibly helpful to motivate you and make you remember where you're going. Because the mistake that most people make is that they just put random pictures on the vision board and they expect it to become true by itself. The reality of it is that to actually make it work, you need to find pictures that really align with the description you made of yourself. So again, if your goal is to have a PhD, on the vision board, you should put your internship, the books you want to read, the grades you want to have, to remind yourself of the steps that you can actually take this year. And if you actually do the things that you need to do, you will see that by the end of the year, your vision board will be completely realized, completely come true. But you need to have the intention behind it. The reason was that it really motivates you and it really gives you a visual of all of the goals that you put for yourself, so it can be very motivating. And the second reason is something called the reticular activating system, which is literally a part of your brain which is responsible for filtering the information that your brain has to process. It literally acts as a filter, and it is proven that when you focus on something, when you always think of something, you will start seeing more of it. Not because the opportunities fall from the sky, not because the opportunities appear because of manifestation. Maybe yes, you can believe in that as well. But the scientifically proven thing is that you literally start selecting, without realizing it, from your environment, the things that will be aligned with your goals. the opportunities that will lead you further with your goals. If you don't believe this, I dare you to start thinking of a red car every single day. Now, I want you to come back to this video if you actually do that and tell me how many red cars you've seen after that. And this is also the reason why when you buy a new car, you start seeing everyone driving the same car. When you buy new boots, you start seeing those boots everywhere. So if you start doing that, definitely let me know in the comments, because I really want to know how many red cars you'll see. Now, you can change your whole body and change your job, but if you don't change what goes on in your head and your beliefs, you will never be able to keep anything that you accomplish. And this is the reason why at the beginning of the video, I told you not only to write down your goals, but also to write down that person's habits, because I want you to understand how that person thinks, how that person reacts, their beliefs, their self-worth. Get an example, just think of people who win the lottery and they win crazy amounts of money. Statistics shows that in a few years, they will be broke again. The reason behind this is that, as I said before, you can change your whole life, but if you don't change your beliefs, you don't change your self-worth, you will never be able to actually keep your achievements. So the first tip I want to give you to help you on this side is, first of all, to do shadow work. If you're not familiar with what shadow work is, it's basically a series of questions that you can find on Google or you can find on Pinterest. I will put a few here, but you can literally find so many online that will make you reflect on your childhood, maybe on your beliefs, on why you think the way you think. Because again, if your goal is to be rich, but you keep identifying with a poor person, you will never have enough. You will always feel undeserving, and you will literally be blocking yourself from achieving your goals. You can block opportunities because you don't feel like you deserve them, because you feel them to be too good to be true, because you lack that belief in yourself. And that's a thing that you can only work on mentally. So to really stop identifying with your old self, one practice that you can start doing as well is to start thinking from the mind of that best version of yourself. Now, I'm not saying that if that best version of yourself is a millionaire, then you should spend your pocket money or waste all that you have, because that version of yourself already has the money. So if I need to act like her, that's what I should do. No. What I'm referring to is to start noticing your limiting beliefs around things and start correcting yourself on the spot. An example of this can be as easy as gossiping. For example, one trait that I really don't want the best version of myself to have is to talk badly about others. And so, for example, in a period of my life, I was in a friend group where these girls would always talk badly about others. And I tried to stop it many times, but I just loved gossiping. What I want to say is, to each their own. I'm not judging, but since this was something that I really was working on and something that I really didn't want to do, and I didn't want to have this negativity in my life, I just decided to not hang out that much with them anymore. Not because they're bad people, but because there's no point in hanging out with someone that has completely different views on something and it brings out a bad version of yourself when you're with them. Something like if you're a drug addict and you just hang out with people who do drugs and they tell you, oh, it's fine, just do drugs. This is obviously a little bit of an extreme example, but the concept is the same. This leads me to the last tip on the belief part of this video, which is the fact that your environment can really break or make your success, especially when it comes to the people around you. So really surround yourself with people that actually believe in you, that see your goal, and even if they're completely different than you, that's fine, as long as their intentions are pure, they support you, they're good people. Because if someone is jealous or doesn't want to see you win or wants to bring you down, you can best believe that they will bring you down with them. And vice versa, if you're surrounded by successful people or just good people, that will make you see the positive side of life, and that will actually lead you to be more successful. And this also applies to the content you consume, which is actually something that you have a lot of power on. So definitely use it. Okay, so we're officially at the last part of today's video, where you already planned all your goals, you changed your beliefs, you worked on yourself. Now it's about time that you actually act. So this last part of the video is focused on how you can make it so much easier to incorporate all these goals that you set for yourself into your habits and routines, to really finally become that version of yourself that you always wanted to be. The first tip I want to give to you is to start gradually, because again, this is where most people fail. You get all excited for your new life, you made your vision board, you made your list of goals, you want to be everything at once. The reality of it is that after a month or even after a week, you just give up. You think that it's too hard and you just go back to your old habits. So we really want to avoid that. So really stop with the all or nothing mentality and give yourself the time to become that person slowly. You don't need to do everything at once. I say that your ultimate goal is to become fit. Let's go back to that example. If you've never worked out in your life, you cannot just start by running a marathon. Maybe you can start by taking the stairs, by increasing your steps a little bit, doing some stretching every single morning. This way, it will be so easy to keep up with it. It will not feel like a burden. You will feel that with time, you will be more energized, more ready to put more effort into it. You need to make those habits part of your routine. You need to make them feel easy, at least to start with. And then you can increase gradually. There's literally no rush. Nobody is rushing you. The only important thing is that you actually put in the effort to gradually increase it. It becomes part of your routine. It becomes effortless. It becomes natural. Something that you just do. It's part of your habits. Next is something that I learned from the book Atomic Habits, and it is habit stacking. So habit stacking is basically a way that you can make it easier to follow your routine by attaching a new habit to one that you're already doing. Let's say that you want to read 10 pages of your book every single morning. What you need to do is you can put your favorite book next to the table that you have your coffee at every single morning, and you tell yourself, after I finish my coffee, I will read 10 pages. And this way, for your brain, the routines that you already do will become a trigger to the new routines that you want to do. Basically, every time you drink coffee, you will realize, oh, I had to read my book. And so you will read your book. How this worked for me in the past was that I attached the using my LED mask with meditation. And so what I used to do is I used to meditate for 10 minutes every single morning while I was doing my LED mask. Because I was doing my internship, I had no time, and so I really had to do them together. But now I have more time, and so I don't do them together anymore. But every single time that I put my LED mask on, I still feel sleepy because I feel like I should meditate. So your brain will associate a habit with a different one, and they literally become a trigger for each other. Final tip is something that I already talked about a lot, so I really recommend that you watch my other videos. But it is to just romanticize your days and romanticize the little moments and create rituals in your routines instead of just routines. So just finding joy in the little moments, trying to create magic into your everyday life, create little rituals will make these boring habits much more joyful and much more enjoyable. But I really don't want to make this boring and just repeat myself, so definitely go watch my other videos if you're interested in that as well. So we are at the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that now you finally feel inspired to start working towards your dream life and get your life together. I really trust that this video finally gave you clarity on how to achieve your goals. Really wanted this video to be the most complete possible and have all of the information you will ever need to achieve your dream life. I didn't want it to be just a copy of the thousands of other videos you can watch on this, so that you can really truly start building your dream life today without anxiety, without rush, with actual clarity. As always, if you love this video, don't forget to subscribe. And again, in the description, you'll find all of my information and my other socials where I post daily tips and so much more about my life. I really appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.